All
Oh
right.
yeah, I've been chilling, bro.
What is good? What is good for the culture family? It is Monday. We don't have no news today, so expecting some relatively simple market structure here today. Gonna go ahead and send this out to the Telegram, and then we'll go ahead and get started on what we're looking for today. It doesn't look like there's anything too crazy coming into the markets today, but we do have some things that we got to talk about here in terms of the updated structure that we were looking for this weekend that was sent out to our members. So just give me 1 second here. I'll send this out. Boom. Gonna send this out to the team. Team got it. Send it out to VIP. Joe, what's your plans today?
Shit, nothing for real.
I got some ideas, some serious ideas now.
That's about.
All right. So let's get into what exactly we're looking for coming into the markets today. Let's take a look here at gold. We're going to start off with the gold markets. Not a crazy amount of volume coming into the session, but we're starting to pick up a little bit here. Kind of got a little bit of chop, but let's go to our larger time frame here. So for gold on the previous daily, our previous daily candle did in fact close as a bearish daily candle. I told members to keep an eye out for this 34.14 levels. If price did in fact break through this level, a steeper move to the downside was likely to come. If you take a look here on the weekly time frame, you can see the previous weekly candle closed as a bearish candle. With a huge rejection off of this larger time frame high here, it was anticipated that we would potentially see a continued bearish move if price broke through this low here. You can see that we opened up with the gap down, price corrected up, and now we're starting to see that steeper move to the downside. It is likely that if this 4-hour candle closes as a bearish candle, we could see a continuation of this bearish move, anticipating the daily to close bearish as well, looking for that 3303 target to get, tagged into. We do have some rejection in this area, so watch how price reacts off this area. But in terms of our overall market structure, price has had an impulsive move down, taking out a key larger time frame low, and now we would look for a potential steeper move to the downside following just how the weekly close and then our current market structure here for gold. So that's what we're looking for gold, looking for that 3303 target to get tagged into. So coming into the markets this week, we were looking for the NASDAQ to be, in fact, bullish to break the all-time high. You can see I have it marked off here for our members. And what did we see happen? Well, price went ahead and opened with a gap, right? So when we have these gaps, we know that 90% of the time gaps get filled, right? So we're going to anticipate that price is going to fill this gap to the downside at the very least. Here, but overall in terms of market structure and why we have these gaps is that price was just moving with so much volume over the weekend that it created a new high, and then when the markets opened, it opened at this high here. It continued to push bullish, and now we're starting to see what appears to be that corrective wave to the downside here. So if we take a look here on our lower time frame, it is, like I said, likely that price goes ahead and fills this gap to the downside. I don't see any other area where price will likely go. Targeting this, I would say 23,448 levels, especially if we get a 4-hour candle bearish close. Anticipate the next 4-hour candle to sweep this move to the downside and for us to at least fill this gap down. That's what I'll be looking for, and this looks like, right now to me, the best market structure. This is a gap fill play, easy move. I'll likely be looking at Nas coming into the markets today. So you can see the YM here. The YM, I've been so inclined. I've been telling you guys for weeks and weeks on end. It's not a matter of if the YM breaks the all-time high. It's a matter of when. And you can see that over the weekend, we went ahead and gapped up, breaking our all-time high. This is not quite the move that I wanted to see, though. So what do we have here? We have an impulsive move, a corrective structure. And I told you guys last week that if we started to see a flip within this area, it's likely that we go ahead and see another impulsive move. So what are we in now? We're in a corrective structure. I would anticipate another impulsive move to come to truly break this all-time high. But as of right now, we are in this bearish market structure. So as of right now, for me on the YM, not really looking too much for the YM here. I think that we can continue to gravitate lower today, but I think that it's likely that we reject off of these key lows and then we see another impulsive wave to the upside to break through this all-time high yet again. So as of today, coming into the markets, just not too inclined on the YM structure. You take a look here at the ES likewise of the NASDAQ, trying to fill this gap back to the downside. It opened up with a gap here. You can see in the all-time high, so we have no resistance here. And this is kind of what I told members coming into the week, is that when we're in these all-time highs, we want to look for our solid hold numbers to be our targets in the market. So, 64.60 is a solid hold number. You can see that price is in this bearish market structure on the 4-hour time frame. What would I anticipate coming into the markets? Well, likely that we see this gap filled to the downside, looking for this 64.28 target low to get hit. So what I'll be looking for is if we break through this low here at 64.33, anticipate that 64.28 levels to get targeted. Really just going to be looking for the NASDAQ. As you can see, we have much more space to the downside for price to potentially run to fill this gap here for the NASDAQ. So that's what I'll be looking for. Like I said, set an alert for this 23,487. If price breaks through this 23,487 low, anticipate that steeper move to the downside, and I'll be looking to capitalize on that as well. You can see just in the market structure currently, we have an impulsive leg here. This is an impulsive leg down. This right here is a slow corrective structure, and then we would anticipate yet again another impulsive leg down, likely to fill the previous 4-hour candle wick. You can see how our current 4-hour candle is. So especially after this 4-hour candle closes, I mean, this candle looks, oh, hold on, I was about to say this candle looks ridiculous. There you go. So you can see how this 4-hour candle appears here. We're anticipating the next 4-hour candle to fill this wick to the downside and then overall close bearish. So let me show you template, sell candle. Here we go. So I want to see this essential move here from our next 4-hour candle, and that's what I'll be looking to capitalize on. So let's move this out one this way. Here we go. So this is what we want to see in terms of our current market structure. Keep an eye out for the resistance that we're at currently, as price is, just in these all-time highs. And we're just going to look for, as of right now, our volume is bearish. So we're going to just look for that bearish volume to potentially continue and to drive us to the downside, likely filling that gap. So I definitely will keep an eye out for this 23,486 level, 23,487. Wait for that low to get broken, and then we can target the 23,448. So that's what I'll be looking for coming into the markets today. Hope you guys are, had a great weekend. We had an absolutely amazing weekend. Was able to see, a well-known Savannah Bananas baseball game, and we're ready and back to execute for this week. So just keep an eye out. We had this impulsive move. We're in a corrective structure. We want to see the lower time frame shift and then give us that other impulsive move to the downside. As of right now, not a ton of volume coming into the markets today, so we want to wait for that volume to kind of be added into the markets. And we'll just be patient. We'll be on our hands until price gives us a solid setup, and then we'll go from there. So I will catch those of you who are in the VIP and our VIP call here in the next, let's say, about 50 minutes. So in about 50 minutes we'll be on our live call. We'll trade live. We'll do, we'll update this structure and everything that we're looking for. As of right now, that's what I'm anticipating. But this is subject to change depending on how, both the 4-hour candle closes and how we react within this area here. We'll just have to keep an eye out. So I'll see you